giving you the real from A to Z surrounding the Dallas Cowboys. News, updates, rumors, transactions, takes, and more. So strap up, Cowboys Nation, and start your day off with A to Z Sports. Live with Will Steele.
3, 2, 1.
Here we go. Good morning, good people. Welcome to A to Z Sports Live, presented by the Cochran Firm and Boston Scientific. We streaming live on YouTube and Facebook, and of course, I am your host, Will Skywalker Steele. Boom! What's up, y'all? Coming up today, we jump into the lab, back into the lab, and this one, good one, really good one. We're going to take a look at how the Cowboys offense just dotted up that Buccaneers defense, where Kellen Moore I thought was the best in this game. And then in the roundup, we got some injury updates, some good news, some bad news. It is what it is. That happens, right? And this weird little nugget that came out of the win on Sunday about the kicking situation, the Brett Maher situation that involves Brian Anger as well, man. You can call into the show if you want. Talk about, I know a lot of people get a chance to come in yesterday. Actually, a lot of people did call in yesterday. But if you didn't get a chance to call in, you still can to talk about the victory. Because, yes, it's a short week. I understand we got the San Francisco 49ers, a divisional round game coming up, shorter than normal, a normal, division game. You get a week, they get a difference, 2-day difference. I don't like it. It is what it is. I'd much rather be dealing with this than not. That means we'll be at home. So we'll talk about San Fran tomorrow, like breaking it all the way down on Thursday and Friday. But today we got to jump back into the lab, man, and see how this offense got its groove back, and some things that you should carry over to the San Fran game, and some things maybe you should scratch or tweak that you'll see in the breakdown. But what's good, Bomb Squad? See my bro Lee in the building. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Look, we already got 1, 2, 3. We got 3 callers on the line. You want to know who one of them is? Shavance. Shavance, you been on hold since yesterday, Shavance? Listen, here's what we'll do. I'll get into this roundup, right? And if you guys don't know why I'm laughing about the Shavance situation, and here's a cool thing about Shavance. He laughed at the situation. He was asleep on the phone yesterday. Like, for the whole entire show, Shavance was asleep, like knocked out. If you want to see the clip, go ahead, run it back, or go to Twitter. You can see my Twitter down here on DFW Turf Ticker. And I put the clip up on Twitter just to have a good time, man. I appreciate you being a good sport, Shavance. But here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to hit the roundup. I'm going to come out the roundup. We'll take a few calls, and then we'll jump straight into the lab, because this one might be a little bit longer, just to kind of take it all in, take all that goodness in, Cowboys Nation. So let's go, man.
It's time! It's time! It's time!
Shavance been on hold for 24 hours.
It's time. It's time.
It is time for.
It's time for the morning roundup. Round 'em up, boys.
Hey. Yo. Jason Peters went down in that game. I think like after the first quarter or something like that. Didn't return. It was a hip situation. And when you hear hip, 40-year-old man.
I'm a man. I'm 40.
And immediately I said, oh, he's done for the playoffs. And the reports came out, the update, whatever you want to call it, is that Jason Peters is unlikely to be ready for this game, and it's probably a multiple week injury. So if you get to the Super Bowl, maybe Jason Peters returns. But multiple week injury, probably won't see Jason Peters until next month, possibly. Maybe at the end of the month. Who knows? Which means that you'll get the Tyler Smith, Connor McGovern lineup that we've the Cowboys have had since Tyron Smith went down for the most part. Except Tyron's going to be on the right side. Now, the offensive line had, I think, its best game in quite some time from a pass blocking standpoint. Even when he was in and out, I thought from a pass blocking standpoint, they were fantastic. And that was the whole point of having Jason Peters at left tackle. They wanted a better pass blocking unit, and they got that, right? They still had their struggles or whatever up the middle, except for like one or two plays, and that was to the right. That was more Tyler Biadasz and Zach Martin on a nice tandem block that created separation. But as we all know, Tyler Smith at left tackle has been a pretty dang good run blocker, so you ain't got to worry about that. But he also was holding his own in that pass blocking department against Vita Vea. Was holding his own. So we'll go back to that lineup. And I said this, I think, on the other show. I was like, listen, if Jason Peters gets hurt, okay. We just go back to doing the lineup we had where the offense was still the number one offense, right? It's not, to me, I know this is going to sound crazy. This front has been compromised for a long time. This front has been compromised since August. I don't think the Cowboys have one of the best offensive lines in the league. I don't. And once Terrence Steele went down, it was even more compromised. So as long as 4 is healthy, and as long as we aren't glitching from a concept situation or making bad decisions, whatever y'all got to do up front, man. I don't think there is a situation, there is a lineup that is going to give you this ultimate advantage against these defensive lines moving forward. Because you're going to run into obviously this one coming up. You're going to run into possibly Philly, and if not Philly, then hey, Dexter Lawrence is no slouch. You know, Thibodeau, Leonard Williams. So you're going to go up against defensive lines that should theoretically have the quote unquote advantage. So whatever, man, just go out there and execute and from a conceptual standpoint, help you guys out, Kellen. That's how I look at it. You're going to do nothing from this offensive line standpoint that's going to make your offensive line better. It's just not going to happen. Jaron Kearse also got banged up in that game. Tweaked his MCL, the same MCL that's been messing with him all year. Which, man, he's a warrior, man. Just Jaron Kearse is such a warrior. But he's expected to play. He's trending up to play. And I highly doubt that he's going to miss this. In fact, not even doubt. I know he ain't missing this game. He did another interview after this game, and was talking about how this has been on his mind, right? And he even brought it up a few weeks ago when we did, I forget what kind of show we did, but we had dropped the Jaron Kearse quote. And he was like, man, we've been doing all this talking since the Niners game. Like, the 49ers been on his mind. And rightfully so. Like, the way that ended was sickening. So now he got a chance for redemption. And I highly doubt that he's going to let a sprain keep him out. Now, will it mess with him? Maybe. But he's going to go out there and he's going to play his heart out. And I have no issues or no worries about Jaron Kearse being amped up and ready for this game. None at all. So I expect to see Jaron out there. I don't expect to see Peters. I wonder, though, if they call up an extra safety just in case. Just in case Jaron gets nicked up. But, you know, is he? He can fill that role in fine, but I got a feeling, and we'll break this down a little bit more tomorrow, that you may not see things switched up much at all from a cornerback 1, 2, 3 standpoint. And then here's the nugget that I thought was real interesting about this Maher situation. First of all, it really doesn't involve Maher, but I guess by extension it does. So apparently teams have been using markers, not literal markers, but markers on the field to spot the ball. Like holders have been using markers on the field to spot the ball. And throughout the regular season, and the NFL got wind of it, and they said, no, you cannot do that in the postseason. Now, I don't know if Brian Anger was doing that or not, but apparently somebody tried to do it in one of the other games, and they said no. So Anger didn't have a marker, so he picked up, I guess, the white piece of grass, because, you know, the paint over the grass, to use that as a marker. And the official said, no, you can't do that. Now, listen, I'm not saying this is the reason why Brett Maher was an issue, because it wasn't. He was just in his head after a certain point. And then Coach Bones Fossil came out and talked about how, one of the kicks was just bad execution and the other one was this. And then he was like, the third one, he must have gotten his head by then. But I just thought that was really interesting that you can't even use a piece of grass as the marker. I get a foreign object, right? I get something. I'm bringing this quarter out, right? Like, I get that. But grass? Okay. Well, I hope that's not why he was kicking so good this year. I sure as hell hope that's not why, because you ain't getting no marker next week. And with that messed up field, it's probably going to be messed up, to be honest with you. My trust in Maher might have went down just a little bit, man. I mean, yeah. I know yesterday I said, that's one game, yada, 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 but kickers, man. It's all about the mental with kickers. If their mental is off, that could last for a good bit, but I'm a little torn on this situation. Yesterday, I kind of was, hey, we just ride with Brett. But listening to Bones, he ain't sound like he was real confident. Listening to Steven, and Jerry, they didn't shut the door on bringing another guy in here. So let's keep an eye out on that. And we don't got time to play around. We only got a few more days, so you better figure that out. KD said Maher good. I hope he good, man. I hope he good. I think the Cowboys are going to need him. This is the playoffs. I know the Cowboys blew out that team and the Niners blew out that team, but for the most part, these games come down to one possession games. And I'm not saying this is going to happen again, but 4 points in the NFL is madness. You can't miss 4 extra points in the NFL. No way. If this was a regular season, you'd be looking at bringing another kicker. Let's just be completely honest. Let's be honest. All right, so let's get Shavance in here because, it took him a while. He's been on hold for a whole 24 hours. Let's get him loaded up in the Pulse of the Nation hotline presented by the Cochran firm. Since 05, my guys Larry and Brian. And Brian called in yesterday, if you guys remember. He let you guys know all about what the Cochran firm does. And what they do is they represent and handle any challenging civil case that may involve personal injury, wrongful death, fraud, truck, automobile accidents, and we are in Dallas. That happens a lot. Whatever you may need, they'll look out for you. They handle all their cases on a contingent fee basis, meaning if there is no financial recovery, then they charge no fee. So give them a call at 1-800-THE-FIRM or schedule your free consultation today at CochranTexas.com because Cochran cares. Shavance, the floor is yours.
No, I'm just playing. Yo, I woke up at like 3:30, and I'm like, what the?
3:30?
I have my earbuds in yet.
Bro.
Well, yo, I work nights. I work nights.
Oh, gotcha.
I work 10 to 6.
Okay, that makes sense.
So I get off work at 6 in the morning. I'm in bed by like 9 or 10. So that's why.
Fair enough.
So I look over at my phone. I pick up my phone, and I'm like, wait, I'm still on the line with A to Z Sports? What the? And then I'm like, oh, my God, I was on the phone the whole time.
Yeah, bro.
I'm like, yo, he probably got to me while I was sleeping. I was like, oh, my God, was I snoring? So I run it back. Run it back, and you get to me, and I'm like, oh, good, it was a snore. And then you're like, oh, let's check out Shavance. I'm like, oh, no. It was over.
Oh, we got you. Yeah, we got you good.
I was probably amused a little bit more than I was embarrassed, so it worked out.
Well, I'm glad we were able to make you laugh. Listen, snoring, nothing wrong with snoring. Hell, I snore. A lot of people snore. We just had some fun with it.
I think I need to keep my head flat, so my throat isn't like
CPAP.
You know what I mean? Anyway, outside that. Yeah, I even had a good segue because you were doing. I'm glad you got to me now for the Cochran term.
Yeah.
I guess they do a personal injury though. Maybe they can give a reference for a criminal lawyer because I think Brett Maher is wanted in the Dallas-Fort Worth area for his crimes.
Taking that money, huh?
No. Yeah, no. That was. Did you see Dak and how about Gallup? You should see Gallup's face after the fourth one. I was dying, dude. He was just like stuck. He was like, he had his hand out, like with his palm up, like what? But he couldn't even say anything. He was just like in shock.
Because no one has ever seen anything like that. Like that was like maybe in high school, bro.
He was like, am I dreaming?
Yeah.
Oh man. No, I liked everything I saw. I know they're not going to do it, but I really wish they would just make Zeke a fullback that they threw to a lot and gave like a couple touches a game, and we got Malik Davis in here. Like, yeah, I think you mentioned that yesterday. I would like to see Davis and Pollard toting the ball the majority of the time. Use Zeke on a couple dives, some pass blocking, throw him the ball 10 times. Throw him the ball 10 times. Get him the ball in space, and then let him run downhill at a cornerback. See what they do. They're not going to stop him. So he keeps running into these big guys in the line. Let's get him in space maybe. But other than that, I thought, like you guys were saying, you could see them making adjustments. You could see they were prepared for this game, and everything that was going to happen and how they were going to attack it. So I'm glad to see that the coaches, it seemed like they kind of turned it up a notch, and as a result, the players did too. And I knew, like, at first, after that Washington game, I'm going to admit, like, I had my doubts for a few days, but then I'm thinking, no way Dak doesn't come out and answer the bell after that game, because that was, as most of us agree, that was probably one of his worst games. It's not the worst game he ever had.
Yeah, I wasn't worried about that.
He was going to come out and play hard. I knew he was going to come out and play hard, so I was like, you know what?
I wasn't worried about Dak. Dak wasn't. He don't play like that. That was the worst game of his career, probably. He never follows that up with another worst game of his career. My worry was
the last game
Yeah, go ahead.
I was gonna say the last game I saw him play better than that. Bucs 2 years ago, week 1, when he went toe to toe with Brady, and Brady was awesome that day. We just didn't have quite enough defense. Otherwise, I would think that was Dak's best performance. He lit it up. Do you remember that game? Week 1, 2 years ago?
Yeah, I remember that game, but
not this season. The season. Oh, dude, Dak, that was balling. I think that may be his only better game than this past game was that game. Unfortunately, we didn't win, but we should have. We should have won that one. Anyway.
Yeah.
So all that. What I want to get to. Oh, there was one thing I noticed. This is crazy. Do you remember when we thought we got that fumble, but it was down by contact?
Yeah.
All right, so they called a 15-yard penalty, right?
Mm-hmm.
They got a first down, and they got a personal foul 15-yard penalty. They just moved everything back 15 yards. Not the line, the sticks too, because it was 1st and 10. And I'm like, wait a minute, what the hell? I'm like, isn't it supposed to be 1st and 25 right now? I know it was after the play, so it should have been 1st and 10, and then they get a 15-yard penalty. Now it should be 1st and 25.
No, because it's not.
Run it back. Check it out.
No, it's not within the play. So that's why. I think it had to be within the play for that to happen. So, for instance, say there was a holding penalty on 1st and 10. That takes it back to 1st and 20 because it happened within the play. Because it was dead ball, I think that's why they move it back, but it still remains 1st and 10. It's weird, but I think they got that right.
I know what you – see, I don't know. That seems weird to me. Like, I understand how they do that, like with the kickoff and all that. But to move the sticks, it didn't seem right. Anyway, I don't know if that's right. Then
it's weird. It's weird, but I think it's the dead ball part that makes them move the chains back as opposed to like 1st and 25. If it was within the play, right? Say within the play, somebody just straight up starts swinging. I think that would be a bit different. I think they would move it back.
maybe let me put it this way. Let's say it was second. If it was 2nd and 10 and it happened after the play, would they move the sticks back then too?
It'd be 2nd and wherever so they got a first down. So you're saying 2nd and 10 incomplete pass. They start fighting or something.
And then there's a fight, and then it wouldn't be 2nd and 25.
I don't think so. I think it would just move it back. I know it sounds weird. It sounds weird.
Does. That sounds a little. I know. I understand how they do that in other situations. Like if it happens, I don't know. That just seemed off to me, but I wanted to bring that up. All right. Hey, thanks for taking my call. Glad I wasn't asleep for it today. Go Cowboys.
All right, man. Appreciate you.
Yep.
I want to swing back around to kind of was all over there. The Davis Zeke thing. Somebody said they ain't gonna do it. I was watching that game and I was like, I mean, I'd like to see Malik Davis get a few. And this goes all the way back to August. Y'all can run it back if you want to try. I said if we're gonna be a running team-ish, whatever, I'd like to see 3 running backs be utilized, not just 2. And hell, we barely could get TP involved last year, so imagine trying to get 3. But I was just watching. I'm just like, man, I feel like Malik Davis with fresh legs, a little bit more burst. I feel like he'd be able to do something a little bit more than what Zeke was providing in that game. He had a good run. I think he had like a 9-yard run, but other than that, it was curtains. But they're not going to do that. I mean, divisional round, Zeke, they're not going to. If anything, give TP the rock a little bit more, but they're not going to bring Malik Davis in, unfortunately. I don't think that's going to happen. Let's get to a few more that we didn't hear from yesterday, and then we'll get into the lab. Philly.
What's up?
Make
guy?
sure I ain't say Glenn again. Philly, what's good,
yes,
Philly?
It's all good. It's all good. Either way. How you doing, my man?
I'm good, man. I'm good.
Good. Cowboy Nation, good morning. I was a little under weather last week, but I did, talk to you for briefly. I predicted 37-17. Thanks to Maher, took some points off the board, but I just had a feeling that we was going to score big. There's no way that we was going to. The fact that we stunk up the joint against the Commanders, I just had a funny feeling that we was going to play big.
Yeah, we bounced back after bad games.
Yeah, it was good. But all the Zeke talk, man, everybody tripping. Leave Zeke alone. I've been saying all year, use all 3 running backs. If Detroit can do it, we can do it. But I know we're not going to do it. Mike McCarthy said something early in the season. He said, when Zeke runs the ball, when it's a certain play and Zeke runs, and then Tony runs that same play, it's different. All they doing is setting the defenses up. Let Zeke do what he does. Because when Tony runs that same play, it's different. The defense gets used to Zeke. Zeke is a glider. He's a thumper, pause. We all know how he runs. Let him do what he do because Tony is going to take it up another notch, and that's why Zeke starts the games off. Just leave him alone, y'all. The guy, he's a vet. He's done what he did for this franchise. Leave him alone.
So leave him alone. Why? Leave him alone because of his feelings?
No. I'm a grown man. I'm 56.
Not you. I'm talking about his feelings. Because if Zeke is not, if Zeke is more of a detriment, I think the conversation is legit. And
I don't think he's a detriment.
We can no longer say.
He's a detriment.
Well, the numbers would disagree. The conversation has merit now because we've seen Tony Pollard play without Ezekiel Elliott, so a lot of people used to be like, well, if Tony Pollard gets 20 touches, he ain't going to be the same. Well, he had 20 touches 3 times this year, and 3 times he went over, or 4 times, and 3 times he went over 100 yards and almost had 200. So I don't think you can use that anymore. And there is merit to, one is a hammer, the other is a knife. There's no doubt about that. But I think maybe you used a hammer and knife differently than you might have used a hammer and knife, say, in week 4. Where it's like, we're going to start Zeke off to hammer this thing because you didn't know what TP can do. Now you know that TP can start the game off and can start the game off with some spark. And now you know that Ezekiel Elliott, when you go look at his rushing touchdowns this year, I don't think he has I think he has like 1 or 2 rushing touchdowns outside of 10 yards. Everything is the goal line. So to me, the evidence is there. Ezekiel Elliott, goal line short yardage guy, Tony Pollard featured back. It's right there for us.
Numbers. I'm not here to
Numbers,
change nobody's
film.
mind.
No. Numbers and film. The film is there now with TP.
I'm not here to change nobody's mind. My opinion. Let Zeke do what he does. Let TP do what he does.
13 carries, 27 yards. All right. Cool.
We'll be fine. My thing is, in the chat, when TP run the ball, if it's -1 yards, there's nothing said. If Zeke run the ball, it's -1 yards. Send Zeke back. Send Zeke home. It's like it's over the top with the Zeke and Tony.
That's not true. The thing is, we see Ezekiel Elliott. We see Tony Pollard turn a -1 yard into a 5-yard gain, and we see Ezekiel Elliott turn. No, we don't. We used to. We don't see that no more, bro. Let's see. That's where I think there is a little bit of we're holding on to what Zeke was instead of what Zeke is, and I'm not afraid to say he is what he is right now, and that's a short yardage power back that can't make people miss a ton, and you should utilize him as a short yardage power back.
I agree, but I also say you can't be predictable and only use him in those positions. That's all I'm saying. Because he turned it up the right side Monday night. He had a good run Monday night. Oh yeah,
I'm not saying he's never going to have no good runs.
That's what I'm saying.
No, nobody. I don't think anybody's saying that. But Tony Pollard obviously has way more better touches. That's not even debatable.
I understand that. All I'm saying is let's go with what we've been doing. Zeke is fine in my eyes. He's not the same back. That's understood. I see that. But I'm just saying, just don't sit him down.
No.
Tony Pollard 30 carries a game and forget about Zeke. Loosen the defense up. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
I'll talk more about it after. Yeah. I'll talk more about that afterwards. Go ahead. What's your other point?
Okay. My other point, I didn't like that bomb to T.Y. Hilton. I think that was a wasted play. You had an opportunity to move the sticks, keep the clock running. If any time to save a play, you save that play.
Are you talking about
a wasted play?
Are you talking about when it was 31-6?
Whatever it was 3rd and 6, 3rd and 4, and they threw that. If it's an interception, it was like a punt. If it's an incomplete, we just punt. That's that wasted play that I can't stand. Just move the clock, move the sticks, keep the clock running.
Brother, you calling in here?
Why go for a bomb to T.Y.?
You calling in here?
I didn't like that.
Getting upset about a play at up 31-6.
It doesn't matter to me what the score is. It doesn't matter. You still had Tampa Tom there. It doesn't matter to me. I'm just saying, why throw that bomb?
You thought they was going to come back 31-6 with 4 minutes and 36 seconds.
I don't care. I don't care.
Bro.
Why throw that bomb?
Okay.
Why throw that bomb? But one last question. What do we look like with the draw play against the 49ers? Do they I know they have a great defense. I know across the board, they're very sound. Is the draw play there throughout the game this coming Sunday?
I think
last thing I have for you.
I think it should be a part of it. I think it should be to help with that pass rush. You know what I
mean? Yeah. All right, cool. All right, have a good day, Cowboy Nation. Stay live, baby. Here we go.
I don't really have much on that play. It was 31-6, man. I think Dak was just like, hey, if I convert this here, deep ball, game's over type thing, or it's a punt. Like, I'm sorry, I can't go too much in on that one. But on the Zeke conversation, it's a very listen, I get it. There's a lot of people that are attached to Ezekiel Elliott. And obviously the Cowboys aren't, it's hard for me to say they're losing because they didn't lose against the Tennessee Titans. But I don't know how you can watch these games and you say, hey, this is fine. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I can't. And I've said this plenty of times. Tony Pollard, you say don't give him the ball 30 times. Maybe in week 3. And I'm not saying 30. But we are in do or die situation right now. I'm not deliberately going to take the ball out of my better player. He's the better player's hands because loosen up the defense. That theory, bro, has been debunked. That was debunked. That was the one thing people could hold on to for years. For years. Because Tony Pollard never got a chance to really be featured. But Tony Pollard was featured a number of times this year. A number. So I'm not saying completely bench. No, we don't bench him. He still has a role. He's a fine, very good to elite red zone back or goal line back. That's where all his touchdowns is at. He's going to find, he sniffs the end zone. But between those 20s, go watch the games the last month of the season. It's almost been a wasted play. And you say, well, then Tony Pollard come in there and boom, 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 boom. Tony Pollard didn't need Zeke to go off when Zeke was out. So I say, forget all this. Oh, we're going to start Zeke to open up the game and loosen up the defense. Did it loosen up the defense? Let me ask you that. Did it loosen up Tennessee? Did it loosen up the Washington football people? Did it loosen up the Tampa Bay Buccaneers? No. Tony Pollard loosened them boys up. As soon as TP got in there, 5 yards, 8 yards, 18 yards. So I digress. Zeke is what he is right now, man. One more of somebody who didn't get a call in yesterday. Who? Mac Jones. What's up?
What's going on, brother?
What's up, man?
Hey, man, I'm going to agree with you on that Zeke and Tony Pollard.
And I hate to do this. Like, I'm not trying to pit them against each other, but, man, it's do or die, bro. I don't got time to play around with wasted carries. You know what I mean?
You're right. The scenario you brought up on the volume was the Jerome Bettis and wasn't it Parker?
Fast Willie Parker, bro.
Yeah.
They didn't say we're gonna give Jerome Bettis 15 carries to loosen up the defense. They said, you see this man, Willie Parker? He can do everything. He's gonna lead our team.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Okay, the key question I wanted to ask you, because I've been watching the games, man. I'm just trying to see. You can probably explain this better to me on why Neville Gallimore and Quentin Bohanna didn't play. Is there something on film that I'm not paying attention to with those two guys? Are the guys not cutting it, or what?
I think my guess is you were playing the team that wasn't going to run the ball. But they might not play this. It sounds, I know this is going to sound crazy because me and Vach actually talked about this. But I think you played a team that was going to pass the ball, and Golston earned his reps. So you weren't going to bench Golston. Now, next week, you play a team that runs the ball more, but you're not benching Hankins. You're not benching Los. You're not benching Golston. Right? You're not going to bench any of those dudes. You got to keep your pass rushers out there. I don't know that you're going to pull a DB, so you might see them sit again. You know, and think about it. Remember, Neville lost his job to Bohanna, and then Bohanna got nicked up, and we didn't have anybody behind him, so we went and got Hankins, and Hankins took his job. So,
wow.
Yeah.
Okay, that's all I want to know, man. Love the show. Appreciate you.
Yes, sir. Listen, Glenn, you're absolutely right. Tackling Zeke, I'm not taking that out the equation as well. I'm not. But we got to stop holding on to this antiquated thought process. The 49ers, do they have a Zeke? Do they have a power guy? No. They got two dudes who can knife you up. Like I just think the thought process is antiquated. And I know Twan is hating this. Twan absolutely hates this one right here. He absolutely hates this one. Because that's your man's $100,000. You even said it. That's your favorite player. You know, you ain't going to take this Zeke stuff. But it is what it is, man. He's got 11 games. I'm sorry, 6 games where he doesn't even get 2 yards, bro, a carry. 3 yards a carry. Like, at some point, that matters. You want to know why Dallas Cowboys been put in so many third and long situations over the last month of the season? Because you're running with Zeke on first and second down. Like, that is why. But we're okay with it because Dak is bailing us out. That's why we're okay with it. You would not be okay with it if Dak wasn't bailing the Cowboys out on third down. And if you are, that means you're holding on to hey, leave Zeke alone. That's my guy. As opposed to, hey, this is helping the offense out. I don't know how I can watch this game and say this is helping the offense out. Now the thing that we can hold on to, I guess the other argument is that one, right? Like, hey, we ain't tackling them. I ain't got no rebuttal on that. I ain't got no rebuttal on that. They not tackling Zeke out there. You right about that. You're absolutely right about. I'm not tackling Zeke out there. But everything else that my eyes are telling me, and that the numbers are telling me, and that the film is telling me, is that teams would much rather you give Zeke the ball 25 times. Go ahead. Give it to him. Oh, this turned into a good debate here. All right, before we move forward, let's take a quick little break and talk about Boston Scientific prior to getting into this film room, Cowboys Nation. In the U.S., more than 39 million men suffer from ED, and Boston Scientific has created edcure.org to help you find your best cure. To get started, go to edcure.org to take the quiz, learn your severity or risk of ED, and if you have a condition that puts you at higher risk, you'll find customized content. The fastest way to find your best cure is to contact an ED specialist by browsing a list of experienced physicians in your area. Visit edcure.org. Brought to you by Boston Scientific.
You're listening to A to Z Sports.
Do it live!
At some point, hoping to broadcast
In front of the millions
of Cowboys fans to bring you the real. But for now, strap up and here's your host, Skywalker Steele.
I'm Luke Skywalker. I'm here to rescue you. We'll do it live.
Man, I did not mean to turn this into. Oh, man. Look, offense got his groove back. We just routed up the Bucs. Just won a playoff game. Let's turn this thing back to the positives here. I feel awful coming for Zeke like this. He has his role, y'all. I'm not trying to say that, man. I'm not trying to do that, man. He's a goal line back, short yardage back now. That's his role. And I'm fine with that. Tony Pollard be getting like 25 touches. But listen. Remember Marion and DeMarco? I don't think they play together. I think you're talking about Marion and Julius Jones. Yeah. And Felix and that whole situation. DeMarco had, what's bruh's name that stole the cologne? Stole the draws? Joe Randall. Joe, you made me look stupid. I'll tell you that. Look, when Joe Randall became the lead back after DeMarco left, I was advocating for running back by committee. We went out and signed who did we sign? A cat from Arkansas that played for DMAC. Went out and signed him. I think we still had another back. And I'm like, run it back by committee. You know, let Joe Randall get his little 15, and then DMAC get some, and then somebody else get some, and he was doing all right. Then he stole some draws. I said, I can't defend you, bro. You an NFL player stealing draws, man. Dan McFadden, yeah. He did. He won him against the Falcons. I think he did good against the Saints. King Element. He opened up that season, was averaging over 4.5 yards per carry. He was doing well. Then he stole some draws, and it was. What you want me to do, man? I can't defend you now. But the Cowboys' offense against that Bucs defense had its best success, I think, in the last month or so of the season since Minnesota, one could argue. And I think it was on the backs of, obviously, Dak, and then the red zone. The running game got going behind Tony Pollard, and it wasn't really from a massive standpoint. Like, they didn't rush for 200 yards. I mean, Dak Prescott added the 20 yards to that, but it was more so to hit the number. They were doing a lot of things kind of to hit the number, but I like how they used Tony Pollard on the edges. We said this a lot. To attack this defense, attacking them up the middle is just silly because that's where their strengths are. Attack them on the edges. But make no mistake about it. This game, Dak dotted them boys up. He truly did. And when they got to the red zone, I think that's where Kellen Moore was at his finest. And we're going to take a look at all of that in our film session right now. I wanted to start off with this third down play around midfield in the first half. The first half of this ball game was just, your Q was just on fire. He was just in this zone. I call it the Matrix, and then that continued really. But you're going to get third and TY. This is why we call it third and TY, Cowboys Nation, man, because T.Y. Hilton is just T.Y. Hilton. 4 wide, 3x2 set, 1, 2, 3, or you can go 2x3, whatever you want to call it. And then 13 and 16 are going to run a mesh route, meaning he's coming here, I'm coming here. But watch how T.Y., this is why I think having T.Y. Hilton, who's only going to probably make 2 or 3 plays a game, and he made 2 big ones in this one. He's only going to make 2 or 3 plays a game. Watch him settle down in this hole for a first down completion. I think we've seen a few times this year where guys like Noah or guys like Tolbert or whoever it may be would kind of continue that route, and you don't get that situation, right? You kind of get him running into the coverage. But T.Y. sees what's happening. He sees I'm following Dalton Schultz out here, meaning I'm the linebacker. And I just need to sit, find a soft spot, catch, turn around, get the first down. Veteran experience. Pre-snap motion, play action's money. 87 Yak learns from the first play. So here's a pre-snap motion with Noah Brown. We always love play action, right? Play action is always money. And this was a play action, run action, not just a regular play action. We're going to get Zach Martin pulling here. In this play, we always get Zach Martin pulling on a run play. And Noah Brown coming down to block, but not this time. We get the play action. You're going to see Ferguson, who I think is going to be fantastic next year if they don't bring back Schultz anyway. But, Sky, why you got learn from the first play? Now, let me run this back real quick. Watch how Jake Ferguson gets off the line of scrimmage. Doesn't waste any motion. He throws him off of him and gets available right now. Now, watch the first play of the game. Now, you can't, the broadcast view, it was weird. But I was wondering, I'm like, well, where's the third level of this play action? It's very similar play. We got a motion. We're going to get a play action. But watch how Jake Ferguson gets manhandled and stays engaged, and he doesn't allow himself to be free. He's still engaged. He's 5 yards back. Stays engaged, and then he's finally free, and by the time he's free, Dak has to try to get it out there or throw it away. But he learned from that. But that's why I say learn from the first play. Instead of dealing with 92, trying to tussle with him, you got to throw him out the way and make yourself available. Didn't do it on this play, but he did it on this play. One more time, there's Jake Ferguson. There's a motion. Get out my way. I'm available right now. Boom. I'm telling you, man, I just think this kid is going to be really good for Dak moving forward. 4 is in the matrix. He sees it. He trusts it, and he rips it. This is basically a 4-vert route. Basically a 4-vert route. He's going to get here. Schultz is going to come up here. He's going to do a little wiggle, but he's coming here. Just 4-vert. Spread it out, and let's see what happens here. And Dak continues to make the right reads that he was doing all game. See it, trust it, rip it. Remember in week 1, there was a couple opportunities for him to do that, and he didn't. Back foot, rips it. He was in the matrix, man, at this point. We're going to go empty again. Another see it, trust it, rip it. I got 88 crossface because we've seen this a few times when Dak returned that CD Lamb was having a bit of trouble either reading the safety or afraid to get hit. I don't know which one. He's been hit throughout his career. But he actually crossed his face this time. And remember, this empty set, I think this is important. And why next week is going to be real interesting to see how they attack this. This empty set has been money. We found something against the Eagles. What it makes you do is you have to commit now. You have to tell Dak, hey, I'm coming over here because of him. If you don't have this empty set, he can just stay put. If it's bunch, he can just stay in the middle. He has to commit right now to the slot guy. Just let it run. And you can come back to this, by the way, because Tony Pollard on the slant is there. But see it, trust it, rip it, catch. I mean, some people don't like that throw here. But when you are as good of a quarterback as Dak Prescott is, I have no problem with this. Just catch it. He was in his zone, man. He was in his zone. Oh, let me run this back because I said I don't like the dump the weak side concept. Here's why I don't like the weak side concept, because I believe you're going to get almost kind of a mirror situation where he's actually going to run right into this part. I don't like that. I don't like that right there. So I would say dump that concept. Maybe you get him to run a stop route or something, but that's too much traffic for me. Too much traffic for me. All right, let's get to the next one here. 13 personnel, pre-snap motion. Look at your QB. Okay, this was right after the half. Again, and maybe another concept tweak here, but this throw was ridiculous, man. Just let it run. People say Dak can't make certain things. I'm like, what are y'all watching? I mean, this is not a back shoulder per se, but we talked about the tight ends attacking these linebackers. Devin White cannot cover. That's not his strength. Dak sees the one-on-one. By the way, Vita Vea hammering down on him. Sees the one-on-one. Boom. Now, he juggled it or whatever, but the throw was money. Here's the other way. And you'll see Vea coming right down on Dak. But watch how calm he is. He just, no big deal. There was something about Dak in this game, man, where he was just in a calming zone. Now, let's get to the red zone, where this is where Kellen Moore was in his bag. In his bag. This was the first touchdown play. Pre-snap motion, 3x2. It's going to get into a 3x2 snap set. And you'll get the stick nod from Schultz. And then, obviously, Dak is going to hold the safety. Now, this, when I say red zone money play, this is a play that the Cowboys love to run in that green zone, red zone. You're going to get 88, CeeDee Lamb motioning, and you're going to have either CD run a double move or you'll have Schultz just clear out in general. There's a stick. Here's a nod. Easy touchdown. Now let's run it back to see how it happened. We've ran this play so many times in the red zone, money zone. If y'all don't know what the green zone, money zone is for me, it's around that 35-yard line where you can hit a touchdown play from right here. I love this play because it attacks all three levels of the field and it makes every single level, meaning the line, the linebackers, and the safety, you put them in a blender. You put them in a bind. Again, Devin White, not a great cover guy. Maybe his responsibility drops back, but he sees Michael Gallup coming underneath, so he has to jump this. The safety is looked off by Dak Prescott, and that's all it takes, man. And obviously, this is wide open. If you guys remember back against I want to say it was the Lions and Washington game. We ran a very similar route, but this time it was to CeeDee Lamb, and Schultz was a clear-out guy. Instead of Schultz being a clear-out guy, he was a go-to. Easy touchdown. Now, this was at the end of the game. Again, we in that red zone. We create what? Create conflict. I love creating conflict, man. And that's exactly what we do here. We spread it out. We're going to get some pre-snap realignment. Now, the realignment isn't necessarily pre-snap motion. This is just Dak trying to get an idea of what's going on. You see him right here. Hey, bump out. Let me see what's happening. Let me see how they're going to set this up. Okay, bumps him out. Now, take a look at these guys. Hey, get up. It's 4th and 3, by the way, y'all. Get up. We're playing the sticks here. 4th and 3. We're not really worried about a touchdown throw opportunity because we want to get a first down. That's what the defense is thinking. We're going to play the sticks, get up, bump and run. Here's the problem, though. We don't get anybody on Noah Brown. So Noah Brown's going to get a free release. And when he gets this free release, it's going to confuse these guys in the back. But watch how CD Lamb sells this inside route. Sells the inside route. Causes both of these, because everybody's looking at CD. His back to the sideline. He's stepping over. And when CD sells it and comes back on the wheel, look what Noah Brown does. He should have followed. But because Noah Brown is coming on this drag, per se, you're going to get wide open, man. I mean, just a great concept. I often talk about concepts I don't like outside of the green zone, money zone. But in that red zone this year, Kellen Moore has been fantastic. It's where he's been his best. His best work has been in the red zone, in my opinion. Easy. You can set so many things up off of this, too. Now, I got long game for the win. We've seen this 3 tight end, 2 halfback set on film. We've seen it in a couple of games, and it's most memorable in the Lions game. Pre-snap motion. We've seen this. So let's go to that Lions game real quick and kind of see how we set this up. We did the pre-snap motion, same set. We got Tony Pollard on the motion. We're going to get a halfback dive for a touchdown. All right, we're putting all this on film. This is dribbling with a purpose, but the long way. Now, we're going to do the same thing. Pre-snap motion, but this time play action, keyword drop back. With a drop back with a 2-man option here and here. And again, easy peasy. Beautiful cover girl. Now let's come back to the Bucs game. Now, what's on film? Pre-snap motion, halfback dive. Pre-snap motion, 2-man option. Drop back. This time, look at the ball handling skills of Dak Prescott. Oh, my Lord. Somebody on Twitter said he faked the entire state of Florida out. We're going to get the naked boot. He got a wide open, but Dak said, "Now let me run this in." Watch. Get out of here, man. Love it. I swear, man. Kellen Moore in the red zone in this game, phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. And even when, another one, matter of fact, before we get to the final play, which was in the red zone, here's another one. This play, it might not seem like much because you really only had a 2-man route, a 2-man option. But pre-snap motion, post-snap action. Here's the post-snap action I want y'all to watch. CD Lamb here and the tight end here. And it's going to look like a run because the Cowboys have done this before. It's going to look like a reverse, but it's not. And it's going to hold this level of the defense to create this one-on-one in the back. Post-snap action right there. Looks like a run here. Looks like a reverse here. And instead of CD just going out on the route, he kind of just hovers around for that check down. Look what it does. He's not dropping back. You got to deal with that. And it creates all of this room out here. So Dak can just throw it up, throw it to the pylon, whatever you want to do. Dak has the option to do it with all this room back here because of the play action. Fits it in. Michael Gallup walks a tightrope, touchdown. And then the crybaby. Y'all know what the crybaby is, right? I know that's a 90s dance, but y'all know what the crybaby is. I should be making fun of bro, but he did the crybaby. I'm just saying. All right, 4 and 86 scramble drill, 86 smarts, 4 with the dart. Now, this really wasn't anything conceptually that was great. This is just 2 players making great plays, Dak Prescott and Dalton Schultz. Nothing is really there technically. I mean, you're going to see Schultz here, but the throw, it would have to be on a stupid rope. But this is what I mean by 86 smarts. We'll look at it from the other angle. And people say Dak can't make certain throws. I mean, look at this goddamn play, man. Look at this player. This is what I mean by 86 smarts. He's going to use, he already did it. He's going to use this DB's momentum against him. He knows if I go now, he can't recover in time. Dak's going to pump it just to get him out the way, right? And then watch this. Come on. Like, people are like, oh, Dak can't throw off platform. What are you talking about? Absolute dart, tutty, ball game. Stop playing with this man, okay? Stop playing with this man. And again, kudos to Kellen in that red zone. It was everything he pretty much dialed up down there was working. It seriously was. And I'm hoping to see a lot of this carry over to next week, right? Now you put so much goodness on film, you can A, use the things that work, or B, counter off of that. Just don't go away from it. We talked about we just need 4 games of you being in this type of bag. Don't be like, all right, we got that one out the way. Let's go back to no creativity, no pre-snap motion, no post-snap action, no play action. Let's not do that. Let's stick in that pocket. Let's stick in that bag. And I know we ain't jumping to San Fran yet, but the defense ain't what everybody say it is. I mean, the defense is good, but they ain't played this type of offense. I'm just saying. Defense is good, but this is better in my opinion. And that's the Lab Cowboys Nation. A lot of goodness in there. I had the most fun I had was watching how he set up the red zone stuff in this game. But that long game that we played with that 2 halfback set on the goal line with the 3 tight ends, just chef's kiss. Chef's kiss. Love it. All right. Hope y'all enjoyed that one. I'm hoping we can get 3 more of these. We get 3 more of these. We on to something, as my guy Vach said. No, but we get 3 more of these. We're having a parade, right? So I'm hoping we get 3 more of these film breakdowns throughout the postseason. Let's jump back into the phone lines and get to some folk that didn't get a chance to get in yesterday. I don't remember 470. 470, what it is, what it do?
Hello?
Yes, sir. You are live.
Hey, what's going on, Scott? What's going on, Cowboy Nation?
What up with you?
Ain't nothing, man. I'm just happy about the playoff win, but my main question is, like, about Dan Quinn. Like, where you see the direction of us going with Dan Quinn since he's getting higher and higher in, like, positions and stuff like that?
Oh, he's not going to be here. I mean, I don't think he will. I think he's going to get a job.
And then what about Kellen Moore? Since he's, like, do you think he's about to go to a different team as well, or you think he's going to stay within the staff?
So Kellen Moore is a bit trickier because production-wise, right? Like if the Cowboys happen to lose this week, that'll dampen a little bit, depending how they lose. That'll dampen a little bit of his momentum, but he'll still probably get some interviews. I don't know if it'll just land him a job. But if the Cowboys go on to the Super Bowl, right, or go on to the NFC Championship game, or go on to win the Super Bowl, this part of what worries people about Kellen Moore probably won't matter. And that's, can he be a leader of men? That's the tricky part about Kellen. Like, people can like his offensive mind, but can you lead these men? Because that's the difference. And according to a couple hiring groupings last year, they didn't believe that. So that's why he didn't get a job. And he interviewed at 3 different spots, and he wasn't even a final candidate, it seemed like, for him. But what can change that, right, is, well, Cowboys just won a Super Bowl with Kellen Moore, and the offense was fantastic. So we'll figure out the leader part. Just bring him in the building.
Okay. So if we get rid of Dan Quinn, right, who's a considerable candidate to replace him, you would think? I know these are, like, future questions, but you know what I'm saying? These are the questions that kind of be on my mind as I see it.
I feel like they'll go in-house. I'll give you 2 answers. I'll give you the in-house answer, right? They could either go with George Edwards. They can go with the secondary coach now slipping my mind. I don't know why. Joe Witt Jr., who's, man, he's long overdue. Me.
Yeah, I feel you on that one.
I would love to bring in Vic Fangio, but that's who I would love. But I think that Joe Witt Jr. deserves a shot here.
Yeah. And I have to take back what I said, because I had called into your show before, and I was talking about LVE. LVE balled out.
Oh, he balled out.
When you put him at the table, I was like, I can't doubt him, man. He did great.
Hey, listen, sometimes something is undeniable, right? Like when he goes out there and he plays like that, we got to give him his flowers. It wouldn't be right if we didn't do that.
Yeah, got to give him his flowers. I was over here doing the Wisconsin wobble over here. I was like, hey, hold on.
Hold on, let me see if I still got that up here. The Wisconsin.
But yeah, those are all my questions. I appreciate y'all time, y'all.
Appreciate you, big dog.
All right.
Man, if you missed the show yesterday, we figured out a name for this dance. The Wisconsin Waddle. I don't know what Mike was doing. He said he was in the middle of a gritty and something else, and somebody called it the McGriddle. Oh, Lord. The Wisconsin Waddle. Yeah, I think Dan Quinn's gone. Unless he don't like the job, like Indianapolis is open, Denver again. If he don't like the job, then he'll stay. But if he likes the job, I think he's gone. Kellen is a little bit more tricky, but the trend is offensive-minded guys. That's the trend. But man, I don't care how trendy it is. If I get in a room with you and I sit down and I come away with, man, he doesn't really give me any confidence, they won't hire him. So he's going to have to own that room. And that's something that he didn't do last year. The McGriddle is crazy. It is crazy. All right, I think that's about, I ain't going to say that's it, but the rest of these are most of the people that I recognize here. So let's get into some of these callers. Rick, what's goody?
Hey, what's up, Sky? What's going on, Cowboy Nation? How y'all doing this morning? What I wanted to say to the last caller, man, nobody cares right now. We shouldn't care as Cowboy Nation where these coaches go. We should only care the promised land. We trying to get somewhere.
Yeah,
we looking to get somewhere, man. You know, no disrespect to my man, but we looking to get somewhere. We always have these distractions. To get all these distractions, lock in. We got San Francisco coming up. We gotta go into the belly of the beast to go get a win. My thing is, Law said it last night on the final word, and I agree with him because I don't like the fact that they take the coaches away from what they're supposed to be doing this week, as far as interviewing for open slots. They should wait. The NFL should make a rule that they do the interview process when it's after the Super Bowl, when the season is over with. That's more time. That's free time. Quit doing that junk during the season. That's a distraction, if you ask me. But that's just my opinion.
You talking about the NFL?
Yeah, I think they should step in and stop them from doing the interview process during the season.
I think it's the postseason.
Yeah, during the postseason. That's what I mean. During the postseason, where everything's on the line.
No, I get it. But I get why they got to do that because I think we're thinking of it as a fan, but the organization, as soon as the season's over, you have to start preparing your organization for the draft, for free agency, for who you're keeping for future, who you want to keep future contracts, who you want to keep on the team, and you need that to happen sooner rather than later. So I get at the end of the season, even if your team's in the postseason, it's just a matter of as a coach, do you want to accept that? That's up to the coach. The coach can be like, nah, like you said, I'm focused on the postseason, or the coach can say, hey, my future also matters to me and my family. So I understand why the postseason they start that process for sure.
Okay. My other thing is to the second caller today when he was talking about give Zeke the ball, make sure Zeke get this. I said, yo man, go back last year when we played San Francisco. San Francisco would love for us to do that dumb shit we did last year against them, keeping Tony Pollard off the damn field and letting Zeke stay on the field with a damn messed up knee. Zeke don't even have a messed up knee this year. He's still doing the same shit. Bruh, we got to do whatever it takes to win. If Davis could come in here and give us a spark and Tony Pollard start this game, let it be. I want to win. I ain't tired of people talking shit when I know that we got a damn good quarterback and we haven't had a quarterback like this in Dallas in years that could take us to the promised land. And a team that I think if we focus and do the things that we're good at, nobody can stop us. That's what I've seen in that Bucs game. I'm glad that Dak Prescott and his team got the Tom Brady monkey off their back, and they got it at the right time. So going forward, we got to do whatever we're for. If a person's feelings get hurt, you're not all in. I don't care about all that. I think Zeke is all in. I think Zeke will do whatever it takes to win a Super Bowl. He's a winner. He came from a winning. He's been winning his whole life. He came from a winning organization in college. What makes you think this dude don't want to win? You can say that selfish stuff for next season. this season, we got to do whatever it takes to win, Cowboy Nation. That's all I have to say. Peace.
Appreciate you, Reed. Ain't lying. That's kind of where I'm at with this whole. If this was the regular season, probably a different story because you're trying to save both of these dudes, right? Like, hey man, we might have to do this 50-50 thing, split the carries, split the touches, because we want to make sure these dudes is ready for the playoffs. But it's the postseason, and I personally would not be upset at all if there was an increase in the touches for Tony Pollard as the postseason increases, and probably just a tiny bit of a decrease in Zeke's. And I don't say a lot, but from 15 to 13, 13 to 10, and then once you get a Super Bowl, depending on who you play and how they feel and where you're playing, it's Arizona, it's on turf. But just Tony Pollard's just a better back. Like, it's not even close at this point, in my opinion. He can do everything, and just give him the ball, and then Zeke should be the guy giving him a blow. I don't know, man. I don't know. And I don't think that's a bad thing. It's a role. Everybody got a role to play. And once we get into the goal line, then you give it to Zeke. But we can continue to open up, handing the ball off to Zeke, and we're wondering, I'm not saying he's the reason, but I've said this a long time ago. Your playbook is wide open if you start the game with Tony Pollard. Your playbook shrinks when you start the game with Zeke because you can't do the same things with Zeke. So to me, if my idea is to go in there with the best first 15 so we can get off to a fast start, it involves TP. And I'm trying to do this in a respectful way without knocking Zeke, because Zeke has his role. But I think his role should be not the start of the game. Mel, what's good, brother?
Man, what's going on, King Scar? So, I'm not even going to mention anything about Zeke.
I already know how you...
Oh, no. Look, I said what I've had to say about Zeke for a very long time. So it's not good to see everybody coming around, but I think it is good to see the coaches coming around, though.
Right.
I'm really at the point now, to be honest, where I really kind of want to see what GT and Malik Davis do look like. But that's I know y'all don't want to talk about that.
We brought it up a little earlier. I am intrigued to see what Malik Davis can do as well, but I don't think that's going to happen.
No, that's not going to happen. No, man, I'm really calling, bro. I didn't want to talk about it yesterday because we were celebrating. It was a celebratory move. But there was something, man, that really concerned me, man. And it's, bro, like Trayvon Diggs, man. Like, I know we love Diggs. I love Diggs. I love his coverage ability. But this running away from contact, man, it is concerning, bro. Like, with the one that really concerned me, and I'm gonna kind of need you maybe at some point when you get into the defensive film to break it down, was the fumble that wasn't a fumble. It looked like he had an opportunity to dive on the ball and made like a business decision. Like, I don't know. It just looked like he wanted no part of getting touched. And we play him probably one of the most physical teams, if not the most physical team in the NFL. He's going to have to come with a different mentality come this weekend, man. Because what I saw on film,
don't hold your breath.
I know the players saw on film.
Don't hold your breath.
Go ahead, son.
I'm saying don't hold your breath. I don't think he's changing from that aspect, man.
But the part about it is, Sky, I kind of don't understand, is I've seen Trayvon do some smacking before. Like, I've seen Trayvon come up and hit people. And it's like...
So, I think we've seen him come up from the passing game aspect and hit somebody. But usually when that thing is run to his side, right, it seems like he don't want that smoke.
Man, right? That's concerning, bro. Like, you got Debo. Like, Debo gonna be like, screen right here.
Yeah. They're 100% gonna tag it. It's one of those things where, bro, it's something that you just gotta. And I hate to say this, like, survive with, as if Trayvon Diggs is some detriment, right? Like, he's just not that type of physical corner when it comes to run support. That's just, unfortunately, that's the part of his game. And if he wasn't such an ace everywhere else, Trayvon would be getting slandered. But that ain't his game, man.
Damn, I was really hoping you was gonna tell me something.
Nope. I can't fake the funk on you on that one, bruh.
I was hoping you was gonna be like, Mel, you tripping.
Oh, okay. So
blah. You need to look at the film. He said, nah, it kind of is what it is.
It is what it is. So I'm watching the play you're talking about. I remember this specifically when it happened. So what he did, I think he was trying to take out the diver. He was trying to take out the receiver on that play.
Okay.
Yeah. He was trying to take out a receiver on that play. There was a play that was worse than that. There was a play that I think they was running to his side and he had a chance to make the tackle and he just kind of was just floating. So I'm running his back again. Yeah. He was trying to take out 86. That's what he was trying to do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. That makes me feel a little bit better. But, man, that's really, to be honest, and when I say my only concern for this week defensively is because this team is not going to ask you to cover Debo just one-on-one in that aspect. They're going to make you tackle him. That's
sure.
just what I believe. They're going to make you want to tackle him. They're going to make you want, and people are like, oh, Christian McCaffrey's a speed guy. No, he's a power speed guy. He's going to be coming after you too, Trayvon. So I really, really hope, man, that they get you in that film room, and I hope he's being held accountable for what I saw on that tape, bro.
So
that was bad.
I'm just looking for baby steps with Trayvon. Like, I'm not even really expecting Trayvon to come up and be some thumper of a cornerback. That's just not going to happen.
We're not asking you to be Dono.
So all I'm asking Trayvon to do really is just contain the edges, right? Like, just force it back inside, man. And then when you have a chance to just make it any kind of tackle, attempt the damn thing, right? Like, it's attempted damn thing.
A form tackle. Just make a form tackle, like they teach you in Pop Warner. Make a form tackle. You ain't got to come up and pop nobody. Just make a form tackle.
Now, if it's a pass, like we've seen him throughout the season, like if they throw it his way or something like that, 9 times out of 10 he's gonna come up and make a tackle. But I feel like when it's a run, and because of the new rules, and the Niners are going to take advantage. I don't say new, it ain't that new, but because that these DBs can't take out these linemen anymore, these corners really don't want no smoke. They're like, damn, I can't cut nobody anymore.
Yeah.
They really don't want the smoke anymore. And Trayvon's that's not his game. He don't really want. Now, Deron Bland, J-Ron Kurz, Israel Mukwamu, that's a different story. These dudes play more like safeties, and obviously 2 of the 3 are basically safeties. But that's different. Them dudes want the smoke now.
Man, my last thing before I let the next caller jump on real quick. DQ, man, I love what he did. He basically just said, look, I'm going to put my best defensive backs on the field. I'm not even going to worry about cornerback position. It is going to be my best defensive backs. They're the ones going on the field, and it worked out beautifully, I thought. The way he used Izzy, putting him in the slot. I don't know, how that works this week, but I love the idea of having Izzy on the field, especially against this physical team, man. So
he's going to be on the field,
I'm excited to see about that.
One thing we know is that DQ, if he see you play well, he'll allow you to try to play well again. I don't think Izzy's going
no
on the bench.
favoritism.
Yeah.
He's no favoritism.
Hey, look at him.
You a second round, but guess what? You kind of boo-boo up here. You go sit down.
He don't care. Kelvin Joseph, second round pick on the bench. Nashon Wright, third round pick on the bench. Neville Gallimore, third round pick on the bench.
On the bench.
Okay.
Doesn't matter. No favoritism. Who's balling? That's the one difference, man. And maybe because Jerry doesn't pay as much attention to the defense, I don't know. Maybe that's a little easier to do on that side of the ball than it is on the offensive side of the ball. But still, I love the fact that he's doing it.
Yeah.
All right, brother. Man, you have a blessed Wednesday. And let's get ready, man. I'm not worried. Let me not.
The conference has been locked.
I feel like that Cinderella shoe about to come off Brock Purdy, bro.
Hey, at some point, can they truly win 14 in a row? Don't know about all that, man.
I don't know about all that.
Exactly.
And he's still the last pick in the draft. He's playing well. He's still the last pick in the draft. At some point, he's going to be who he is.
Well, yeah, we'll talk about it a little bit more. But I got thoughts on the situation.
Yes, sir. All right, bro.
Appreciate you, man. I got thoughts on the situation. I like Brock Purdy. Like, I do. I like his game. He's kind of reminds me of Tony in that kind of swashbuckling, running around, making things happen type of thing. But he watched these games. He'd be like, shit, I should have been picked. Or, you know what I mean? Or, man, hey, 5-yard slant, 80 to the house. There you go. Like he's put in people, is this happening? Y'all let me know. Is this happening to him? And then we'll move forward. We'll get back to the lines. I remember in Dak's rookie year, Dak and Zeke's rookie year for that matter, you know, they got a lot of flack because they had a good team around them. It was a good team. Don't get it twisted. I don't think it was better than this team though. But are people saying that about Brock? Like, hey, but Brock got maybe the best situation you could step into as a rookie. Is that happening? Scheme, you know, the talent, the defense. Because if it is, then I'll fall back. But if it ain't, that should be a part of the conversation. That should be a part of the conversation. He's clearly put in a fantastic situation. But at the end of the day, he's also a rookie. All right? And rookies are prone to make some mistakes. He hasn't made a ton of them. He hasn't made a ton, or at least he hasn't made any that's costed him. But Dan Quinn, I said this before about these young quarterbacks, or these young quarterbacks. Dan Quinn, when throws, look what Dan Quinn did, and I don't have the film up. I chopped it up, but I decided to do offense today. Go watch Voch's film. Probably talked about it in it. Dan Quinn was confusing Tom Brady. If the Cowboys can put them in passing situations, that's Brock Purdy. I digress. (214) what it is, what it do?
Hey, what's up, Scott?
Yo.
Hey, what's going on? So, I just wanted to kind of go back to what y'all was just talking about. How do you see our defense matching up to San Francisco? Because keep in mind, we're talking about one of the best, offensive minds in the league.
Yeah.
You know, with Christian McCaffrey added, even though Brock Purdy, Mr. Irrelevant rookie or whatever, but look at all the weapons he got to work with.
Yes, he does.
So, I mean, we're going to go through a same defensive package. Do you see us? Because linebacker heavy, we don't need it. You know, I think DB heavy would probably to cover these dudes coming out of the backfield. You know what I'm saying? Christian McCaffrey, Mitchell, and even Debo. And like the other caller said, like tackling going to have to be on point. Because if it's not, it's going to be a long day. How do you see us matching up against San Fran? Now, I'm trying to be positive. I know we rolling in with a win from Tampa, but I need us to, go ahead.
Yeah, and we're going to really break it all the way down starting tomorrow. I'm actually going to flip the script. I'm going to talk about this our defense against their offense. But I know this is going to sound really weird, but I think it really depends how they decide to come out and attack us. Because last year, if they come out and want to attack us the way they did last year, I'll walk them in, honestly. I know this is going to sound crazy. And I say this because they didn't really use Kittle as a pass-catching weapon. Right? That wasn't their game. And to me, Kittle was the ultimate X factor against our defense because we've struggled when teams have wanted to feature the tight ends. We've struggled. And Kittle is the tight end in the league, right? Kittle and Kelsey. They are the tight ends, and he's fantastic doing both of these things. And it's all these weapons, Debo, CMC, Juszczyk, Ayuk, Jennings, all these weapons. There's one dude I think that's at the center of all of that, and it's Kittle. And last year, they scored, let's be honest, they really scored 16 points. I know they scored 23, but Dak threw an interception. They got the ball to 20, next play, touchdown, right? But they really didn't kill you offensively throughout that game last year. They got off to a decent start, kicked a bunch of field goals, but they didn't kill you. But if they come out on Sunday and they decide to feature Kittle a little bit more, and now they got CMC, right, then I feel a little bit like, okay, this defense is just going to have to buck up because it could be, I don't want to say a back and forth, but it could be a situation where you're going to find yourself having to score some points. But if they say, hey,
that's what I was thinking about too. Yeah.
If they come out and say, hey, we're going to use Kittle as a blocker because we want to, hey, this Cowboys defense can't really stop the run, although they've been better, and Hankins is here, I'm just saying. They can't stop the run, so we're going to run the ball, 38 times. If Dallas can keep the run game in check to force them into some of these third and longs, I like our option. So that's why I say you want to come out and run the ball 36 times, and you only averaging 3.5 yards per carry. By all means, do so. That means Kittle ain't getting out there in the routes, in my opinion.
But we not. But what about what do you think about us not facing the Jimmy G though? Even Purdy, like I said, he's
Purdy throw that thing down the field.
But he can throw that thing. We're not talking about Jimmy G here. He can. Yeah, he can throw that.
Yeah, Purdy would throw it down the field, 100%. Yeah.
And that's all I got, Scott. Appreciate the call, man.
Yes, sir. Yeah, this is a tricky one, and like I said, we'll break it down all together. Like, it ain't Purdy that worries me. It ain't one specific player. It's Kyle Shanahan getting these specific players in the best situation. Like, nobody does it better in the league. Big Red, he do that too. But ain't too many that do it better than Kyle Shanahan. And the one guy that at the center of it all, man, that damn George Kittle, man. That damn George Kittle. And George Kittle been on fire since Brock Purdy has been the quarterback. So he's the one. And I get it. Debo is going to be Debo. Brandon Ayuk is a fantastic, pure wide receiver. Gave Diggs some trouble last year in the playoffs. Jennings, a little sneaky, fourth option in the passing game. And I think that McQuamu is going to continue to stay on him. But that damn George, there really is no. I know you're going to be like, well, what about J-Ron? I love J-Ron Curse, okay? Like, I'm not saying J-Ron, but J-Ron a little dinged up, man. And I'm pretty sure they'd be like, oh, hey, we'll take J-Ron on George Kittle all day. Now, J-Ron last year, a little bit different. J-Ron this year, I don't think from a coverage standpoint he's been the same from a man-to-man. And plus, he's dinged up. But Kittle, I think, is an ultimate weapon for them. And this is before we break it all down. Nobody's saying this team is unstoppable and this and this and that and that. This is a good offense, though. This is a respectable offense, and I think it's because of Kyle Shanahan. There you go, King. That's my thought process. And I want to save this for tomorrow. We giving it all away today, but that's what I'm thinking about personally. Is flipping the script this year and putting 24 on him. But talk about that a little bit more tomorrow. Los, what's up?
Good morning, Scott, man. Hey, two quick thoughts, and I'll let you go, man. I hope your morning's all good, man. And hey, I'm still in the celebratory mood after the Tampa Bay, but it's on to the next one. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But Dak, Tony, and Schultz and this tight end group. If these three players or, group of players can show up and show out during these 49ers offensively, I feel we have a great opportunity. And I'm leaning more towards Schultz than CD because we all know they want to limit CD going off on their secondary. But I feel when these 49ers break into these zone coverages, it's going to be to Schultz and this tight end group to be that safety blanket and that yak, to just move those chains and let Dak be Dak. We already saw what Schultz did, against Tampa Bay, And defensively, I mean, I'm saying defensively now because this is my last call. The Thursday and Friday I won't be able to call because work, sadly. But we all know Micah and this defensive group is ready, and I hope they're ready to welcome Purdy truly to an NFL moment.
Yeah.
Because like you said, Scott, this Cinderella moment is going to end. And if we just get some licks on him, man, I don't know. Like, I think he's truly going to be like, oh, damn, this is a different type. This is a truly different defense I have faced all year. And that's what I'm hoping for. And my last question for you, Scott, before I let you go, we all know that the 49ers came into our building with their boombox coming out with the unnerve, and I feel Cowboys are more prepared this time.
Absolutely.
And maybe glad they had the opportunity to be the team that knocked them out last year. And it's time to return the favor at that building. So Scott, if you were to come out with your boombox, with your own song or own song playing out that tunnel, what would it be? And I'll let you go. Mine, I'm more of a rock and roll guy, but hey, this band's from Dallas. It's Pantera, Cowboys from Hell. Peace out.
Come on, man. Come on, man. Let them know we here. Ken Candlestick, Levi Stadium, whatever you want to call it. Man, come on. That's exactly what I'm coming out to. Y'all thought I was playing when I said, when Dak Prescott come back against the Detroit Lions, I would have played that song. It would have did something. It would have did something, man. But there's plenty of songs you can choose. I was looking at they schedule as he was talking. I thought Purdy played the Niners or played the Saints, but they didn't play the Saints. Who we got? We got a lot, man. I don't know if we're gonna get through all of them, but 971. What's up?
Hey, how you doing?
Good. Who this?
Hey, this is Penny JP.
What's up, JP?
Hey, man, love the show.
Thank you, sir.
Hey, I just want to holler at you real quick. Now, what you do, this how you win the game, right? You put Zeke at fullback all game. As much as you can, right? You can always fool them on that play action. And then I've been looking at this Seattle game and all the other games San Fran have been playing. You can run the ball on them because they don't have the same line as they did last year. So just continue to run the ball, and we're gonna catch them in play action because they're gonna over pursue. And on defense, this is what you do on defense. You take your most physical corner. I've been watching Seattle, how they do the game.
Okay.
You put the physical corner. You maybe can put Rose out there on Debo. Somebody physical, because Diggs ain't going to do it. Physical. You can put Rose out there where you can hand check him at the line. That's all you got to do is bump him because he's not a route runner. Okay? He run a slant, and the only way you can get him open is on play action. And run like a 5-yard. Debo likes to run like a slant, and then he goes and cut. He do all this whole funny stuff. You put somebody physical on him, Rose or somebody that can jam him at the line, and then you go get that. You go get the great white eye. Now, what they do is if he's in trouble from pressure, he look for the running back out the backfield. Stay with your man. Is what I'm saying. Stay with the running back. I looked at the Seattle game. How did they beat them? Running back out the backfield. That's all they did. Go back and watch the game. What they do, they disguise like they're gonna play action or disguise run you out, and then they're gonna come underneath with the running back every single time. And in the middle of the field, you've got to stay disciplined with your D tackles. Now I don't know if Bohanna gonna start or somebody stay in there because they're gonna try to run McCaffrey up the run and do that silly little sweeps. And that's how you beat them. You got to stay disciplined, come up and tackle.
Sounds
watch
like you.
That game. Yeah, watch
sounds
that
like
game.
You got the answers.
Yeah, and go back and watch some of the other games. They're leaking out the backfield with the back because everybody's praising this quarterback like he is Joe Montana or he's Troy or he's Testaverde or he's Starback. No, I'm sorry. What you got to do is come after him with Micah and Sam Williams, and you may want to play D-Law on the inside because he's not as good rushing anymore. He hasn't had a sack in years. Or I don't know. He hadn't had a sack in I don't know how much this year. But that's how you beat them. You got to come up and tackle, and everybody know that we got to get physical this game. But don't get fooled by the disguise. So
don't get fooled. That's easier said than done, man. That's their offense right there. But hey, man,
One more thing before you let me go.
Yeah.
He is in his daddy's playbook. Shanahan from Denver. The tight end was the number one factor in Elway's freaking time. Shannon Sharp, all of the tight ends they had. And they try to fool you on that play action and go to Kittle across the middle. And I hope that, I don't know Curse, how good Curse is. What's the update on him? He going to play or not?
Yeah, Curse going to play. Curse will be playing. He got a little tweak in his knee, but he'll play.
Yeah. So, hey, man, I'm looking for a win this game because I'm tired of losing.
Facts.
Everybody needs to calm down and let them come out there and play. And don't get fooled by the run. Don't just come up and tackle and gut you push the tackles. Because what I saw, I think we fast on the inside in Seattle is. They had
we're better than Seattle. We're way better than Seattle, for sure.
Yeah. They had multiple chances to sack this dude. But he got elusive, and they let him go. And then he threw from the – I guess how they scored. The running back out the backfield every time.
Oh, don't cry in the car, man. But they – listen. The Niners got a nice.
I did not see a bomb down the field or nothing productive coming from this quarterback because they're hiding him. They're hiding this quarterback like he's a big-time quarterback. He made a few throws. If you put the pressure you need on him, what we got now, you can't hide him no more. I'm sorry. They're going to try to do the play action on the fool us and run the ball.
They definitely
and cover the back out the backfield. And that's how you win the game.
Yeah. Do all of that, Cowboys going to win the game 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's how you do it. When you go back.
Yep. I'm going to go. Yeah, I'm going to go back. Yeah, I already started the Yep, I started this. Yep.
They're trying to fool you with one look and come back the other way.
Yep. They're going to fool you.
Yeah. So
yes.
They lost. I checked out their schedule. I go back and look at their schedule. I looked at they lost to Chicago. They lost to some other teams.
They did, but they ain't losing like 3 months though. But they did. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's time to shut it down and put.
It is time to shut it down. So we're gonna shut it down so we can get to some more callers. All right, man. Good call. Love the passion.
Yeah, I love you, man. Hey, I love you. Hey, you do right.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate the passion.
Yeah. Hey, one more thing before you let me go. Guess what I want the Cowboys to do?
What you want them to do?
I want them to come out and bust some motherfucking heads. Head. I want to bust some motherfucking head. Okay. All right, man. I love you. Peace.
I love it. Appreciate you, big dog. Hey, he came with the passion, though. He was on to something. Like I was trying to write it down, but it was so much. But if we do all of what he said, we going to blow them out. Talking about. Blow them out. All of that. Debo, play action, tackle, cover, run, hit, talk shit. Purdy ain't nothing. Trickery. Kittle. Come on, man. Blowout. I mean, he ain't lying. That was a lot, though. Somebody said Marv's brother. That kind of dude. Hey, Marv, we might have to get y'all to. Would y'all mind if I get both of them on the horn and just let them talk shit? That'd be entertaining. I ain't gonna hold you. I enjoyed that. At first, it was getting a little. I'm like, hey, bro, you gonna let me talk? But then I love how he ended it with that passion right there. Appreciate you, big dog. Let's get to 302. Matter of fact, no. My bad, 302. I hate to do that to you. But how about Marv? Magic City Marv. What's goody?
What's up, brother?
What's up, man?
I just listened to you. Like,
hey, but you
let him go.
Yeah, I was like, I like to let y'all go a little bit, but sometimes I'd be like, hey, now, wait a minute. But did you like his passion? No, it kind of reminded me of you.
Yeah, he was going at it.
Yes, he was.
He was telling you true facts. You know, I like to keep it simple though, like me and you say. I like a good run defense. I did 33 play last week.
33. You know what? Not as much. It was a lot of Anthony Barr. And by the way, man, maybe I should do another guy's set tomorrow. But Anthony Barr had some plays in that game, y'all.
Yeah, he played some good time. I was like, that was a real Anthony Barr this time.
Yeah.
But this week he can't put him on that 23 now, coming off the backfield. Or he'll get torched. You got to have some fast guys on him. You remember that Minnesota game when we had our the first time we played Minnesota, and number 4 came out the backfield, and we had our Evan Lewis was checking him and locked him down. Oh no, that was New Orleans, number 41 for New Orleans.
Yeah, who you going back, Marv? Yeah, you're talking about Jay Lou, where we had Rob Marinelli and Chris Richard. I think might have been Richard still as the DC, and they decided to check Yeah, you're right. But I think at that point in time,
check for the corner.
Yeah, but I think at that point in time, I kind of remember, but he was being used as a pass catcher a lot. But CMC will run the rock. Like he's very much Tony Pollard, just more established.
Yeah. So you can't put no slow guy on. And then the 96 and 98, why they didn't play, they don't get no push.
Yeah.
99, he can play the run real good. Yeah, 96, I don't know. He might not have him next year. I love to replace him for that Redskin D tackle.
Oh yeah, your boy gone, man, out there body slamming people. The cat from Arkansas, yeah, big country.
No, not big country. I want
you mean Deron Payne? Deron Payne. Oh,
yeah.
I kick him off the bridge for Deron Payne. Yeah.
Oh my God, you get him with Hankins, that'll really set your boy them DNs on a fire. And now the quarterback, he got to do the same thing, dink and dunk. I want him to dink and dunk again because what they did, they got that off the. You remember off of Denver?
Yeah, Marvin.
The Denver
Harf
game
crazy.
last year.
Well, the Denver game we got whooped.
Yeah, but they played that. I was playing the coverage on us.
Yeah,
and then San Francisco did the same thing.
Yes, sir. But I'm glad you're right. They did. But I think the Cowboys have absolutely found a solution. It's just a matter of sticking with it.
So we using it.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. Because we was running on them, and you got to use Pollard. I listened to the one guy. If you use Pollard, Davis, and Zeke, you got to use all three. Because Davis is going to get you them 4 to 5 yard carries, too. And, Zeke is good for the third downs. I hate when they run sweeps with him. He's not like he used to be. When you run sweep with Davis or Pollard, that's like 8 or 9 yards. With Zeke, it's like 3 or 4 yards.
Yeah, maybe I wouldn't be as annoyed if they would just. And I know you don't want to be predictable, but at this point, it is what it is. Everybody done seen the tape. But Zeke is a north-south runner, so get some type of concept scheme or what have you to get Zeke running north and south as opposed to east and west, because that's not his game anymore.
Yeah, and we're gonna. It's gonna be a good game, but I think the key. This guy Purdy, when he said how fast number 11 get back there, that's gonna freak him out.
He ain't seen that yet, baby. He ain't seen that yet.
He haven't seen that.
No, sir.
He has not seen that.
No, sir.
Yeah. So we just want the Cowboys play the right game. Don't try to get too cute. And I'm going to tell y'all something. The weak link last week was number 7.
Oh yeah, it was just from a tackling standpoint, from a coverage standpoint, he did well, but from a tackling standpoint, yeah,
I'll give him a C on the coverage. You know why?
Nah, he was better.
Because 3rd and 6, 2 times. If he was play bump and run, our rush was getting there quick. He played off Brady, and Brady threw right to his man.
That's a call. But that's a call. But where you going? If it's called for you to play off, which I hate, I can't put that on a defender. I'm gonna put that unless he has the option to. If he has the option, then I'm gonna put it on him. But it feels like it's a call because we've been doing that all year, right? But he only gave up 40.
He better not play no team.
Yeah, he only gave up 40 yards.
10 yards off
against Evans in that game.
If he played 10 yards off of Debo, we in trouble.
Man, we've been saying this for months, man. Stop playing off on these dudes, but that seems to be a call.
Yeah, man, stop that junk. I hate that, man. And he better than that. Come on, man. Number 7, you got to come up. That's what Curse was calling out that time. You know that, right?
I don't know what you're talking about.
He didn't want to say his name. That's what Curse was talking about. Do your job.
Oh, no, he wasn't talking about. Are you talking about after the Philly game?
It was one of them games.
Yeah, a couple players. Micah Parsons came out and said it. Actually, a lot of that, if you really go watch, it was more so Donovan Wilson, Jay Lou. Some of these after that Philly game, they wasn't the safeties wasn't really doing. Malik Hooker, they really wasn't doing their job. But nonetheless, I feel you. Everybody got to just do their job.
I got a good feeling though, because usually I'll be nervous. Like last week, when I be nervous, that's when we lose. But for some reason, I think we're gonna go on a winning streak.
We're playing with house money.
30.
We're playing with house money. Ain't
Yeah,
nobody really think we was gonna beat Tampa. Like when I say nobody, I mean the media and whatnot. And now we going into San Fran. Nobody think that we gonna beat the San Fran. So yeah, we playing with house money, Mar. But good call, brother.
John and Dallas.
I appreciate
Dallas.
I appreciate the call, man.
All right, family.
Thanks,
Have a
Mark.
blessed day.
You as well.
Yeah.
And before I forget, because we have been talking about everything, the shell coverage, that Fangio 6 that he was talking about with Denver last year. I told you I think we found the solution, or at least a part of the solution. And earlier in the season, it's just a matter of us getting back to it. And with Dak, I think with Dak, it's even easier to do it because he can make more throws than when Cooper Rush was here. And we talked about getting more bodies out into the route. I think we've added on to that. I think now we're getting more bodies out to the route, and we're also getting these running backs quick releases right now. You saw it sometimes in Tampa in week 1 where these guys was out there, but for the most part, it felt like they was kept back there to block. Now it's like, hey, man, if it's a play action, they're gone. If it's not a play action, they're gone. Be available right now, because if you're available, it does two things. It gives me an easy outlet, boom, right there. Or it's going to take that corner or that linebacker out of their zone, pull them like a magnet, and offer up another option right in that hole, depending on the concept. So, and then obviously the spread. The spread is probably the number one thing for them to do. It's the number one most risky thing to do, because now you got pass rushers, you got one-on-ones, a little trouble. If we do it with Tony Pollard, I'm cool, because I think you'll have a bunch of outlets if they decide to send their four, or if you blitz, that works in our favor. But if you do it with Zeke, it's like, why are you doing that? You're not going to throw it to Zeke. I'd rather bring Zeke back in where he's a good pass blocker, and now you got an extra protector. So I think we found solutions. Quick releases, more bodies, and spread them out. As opposed to we're going to run 2 tight end sets, play action, 2-man routes. We're going to be in standard 11 personnel. Or we're going to run right at them at the A-gaps when we're not that team anymore. Now, from a running game standpoint, if they elect to come out in that nickel or dime or whatever you want to do, you probably should try to at least establish the run in that way. But do it how, Cowboys Nation? Creatively, right? Like, don't just run the ball up the middle. Halfback dive, shotgun, do some draws, get these guys moving, east-west. Be creative, that's all. Well, you're going to show your hand in general with Zeke. Like, if it's third down, if we're talking about spreading it out, right? Like, if Zeke is out wide in the spread formation time, you're showing your hand because you're not throwing to Zeke. If anybody's been watching my show since last year, the number one formation I hate is when they decide to motion Zeke out wide, because he is a wasted space. He's not getting thrown the ball. He hardly ever even runs a route. If you go watch the tape last year, he would just stand there. It was pointless. Now what you're seeing is Tony Pollard's running routes. And he actually threw Tony Pollard the ball on Monday. So if Zeke is out there and spread, that is showing your hand. That means they're not throwing to Zeke. Don't got to worry about him. But if Zeke comes in to block, either he, A, can block, right? He can say, all right, this guy's blitzing, that's my dude. Or if he doesn't blitz, he has a two-way go of, all right, I can check this Joey Bosa and then release, or I can just flat out release. So I think you're more so showing your hand with Zeke spread out wide. Okay, let's get to 302. We might have to do a little bit more overtime today. We'll get a couple more callers and head on up out of here.
How you doing, brother?
I'm good, man. How are you?
Good. I'd like to talk to you about a couple quick things that I noticed on all 22. I'm worried about a few things that no one's really talking about. Nick Bosa's got the best hands in football, and his strength is incredible. He's going to give the smoke to Tyron.
Oh, for sure.
He's going to give the smoke to Tyron. I mean, Tyron ain't what he used to be. Plus he's playing at right tackle. So we don't chip him. Dak's not going to have any time. Plus you got Armstead in the middle that's going to get that push. People are talking about Shanahan like he's going to do all this mixed direction. He's going to take the Philly game, and he's going to use that against Parsons. And I've noticed with Parsons, if he doesn't go, things don't just go in his way earlier in the game, he gets a little frustrated.
Wait. Slow down. The Philly game,
okay.
The Jalen Hurts Philly game or the Minshew?
No. I'm sorry. When we had Cooper Rush back, they ran at him.
Okay.
They ran at him. And
all right. Let me slow you down for real quick because I do want to touch on that. But you're right about the Bosa thing. But Brock Purdy is not Jalen Hurts.
No, but his intelligence is out of the roof.
But he's not. But this is not the same offense. Their offense is predominantly shotgun, RPO, post action stuff with the threat of the quarterback. So I think when you say he's going to replicate that offense, I say, well, shit, do it. If you think that Brock Purdy can be a running threat like Jalen Hurts, go ahead. I know he runs around. I know he can scramble for a first down, but that's not their offense. They're going to legitimately be under center or shotgun and use Debo and whatnot. I just don't see them attacking him in that manner. I think they're going to attack Micah Parsons more so with bodies, right? Like trying to get bodies on him and in that manner. But I don't see them attacking him like Philly because Brock Purdy ain't Jalen Hurts. That makes sense?
Yes, sir. Yeah, it does. You're right. And the other thing I was worried about is they have another good running back they use.
Oh,
and,
Elijah
a lot of
Mitchell.
people don't talk about it. Yes, he's very good. And I'm just concerned that everybody's going to focus on McCaffrey. I mean, if we can hold McCaffrey to about 80 yards, that'd be wonderful. But, like, let's face it, like, our run defense has gotten better with Hankins, but, I mean, San Francisco's got a lot of use a lot of misdirection, and you're right about Kittle. I think we should use three safeties in the game.
I
think
four.
We should let Wilson. 4, yeah.
You might,
right.
yeah. If Izzy plays again like that, we're going to use 4 safeties, right?
Yeah, and I think Wilson needs to be physical. He was like, McCollum did a great job against Godwin. Godwin had 80 yards, but he was giving him fits all game. But Wilson was laying the wood, and he's our most physical defensive player. I don't care what anybody says about Parsons. Wilson is a beast, man. And if we can get him hitting, and no one's going to want to come up and get that. You know what I mean? But we're going to see with Parsons. I love him, man, but he's got to go against Trent Williams, man, and Trent's going to give him that smoke. So we got to make sure we move him around because you cannot leave him on Trent Williams all game. You know what I mean? Because Trent is the best tackle in football. So we got to move him around. Like I remember with Denver, they moved Vaughn around so much. I mean, Quinn moves him around, but I want to see some more A gaps. Double blitz A gaps with him and
Leighton.
One of the other linebacker we have from Minnesota.
Oh,
Leighton,
Barr.
Leighton.
Leighton.
I don't know who's faster. Leighton's probably faster than Barr. You're right. But that's all I wanted to say. See what you thought about the misdirections and Bosa and everything because Bosa, man, his father taught him and his brothers, man, them hand moves. And I've been following their career for a long time, and them guys are really good, man. I'm just praying, if we still had Terrence, I know this is going to sound crazy, but if we still had Terrence Steele there, Terrence is a little lighter on his feet.
Terrence,
you know what I mean? Yeah. Well, Tyron has best game at tackle. That's what the film was saying last week.
Yeah, but this Bosa. So yeah, I'm gonna touch on that for you, brother.
I appreciate it, and thank you for the time on the line. I appreciate it.
Yes, sir.
Have a good one.
You too.
You too.
Yeah, Bosa and Tyron, we'll probably really dive into that matchup on Friday because tomorrow we're going to do our defense. So just, I guess, a teaser. The misdirection, I mean, that is in San Francisco's DNA, right? That's in their DNA. They're different. They're different from Philly because they can go under center a ton and they utilize a fullback. So, and they get so much post snap. Like, it's funny when you first went and put on a Philly film. Initially, I was like, man, we about to see a whole lot of pre-snap, post-snap. They don't really do that. They don't really do all of that consistently. The most post-snap crazy action you'll get is a AJ Brown coming behind the line, play action. Kind of, that's, I guess, a standard. But this team, this is in their DNA, and they do it from a variety of different ways. It's a tough scheme to prepare for. It's a tough scheme to deal with. That is why I said it ain't Purdy that worries me. It's the scheme. So if the Cowboys can put them in third long situations, get them win early, win the early downs, and now you don't got to worry too much about all that eye candy. But if you can't win early downs, now you got to worry about it on 3rd and 2. So, yeah, the scheme and misdirection, that's part of them, 100%. Oh, come on, Dwight. Look, Seattle gave him a little run. The Raiders gave him a run. Cowboys are better than both of those teams. So, but like we do on this channel, if you are new here, by the way, shout out to y'all. If you're new here and we've broken down these teams the last couple of weeks, but what we're about to do, and the Bucs, we did it last week too. What we're about to do for San Fran is kind of what we've been doing throughout the year. You know, we're gonna put the film on. We're gonna do X, Y, Z, and break them all the way down. So and show where they could be susceptible and show where their strengths are and how the Cowboys can win. All right, I'm gonna do 2 more and I gotta get up out of here. We getting super late. I'm gonna put DJ at 806 on the horn. DJ, what's good?
Hey, what's going on, Scott? How you doing this morning, brother?
I got you. I'm good, man. How are you?
Oh, I woke up this morning. Can't complain. Just to kind of stay on the Bucs, because I was going today's show real quick. I know everybody's excited to get the 49ers, but I think we need to – I mean, Kellen's gotten his flowers, but if you really look back at the season, through the Cooper Rush games, out of necessity, and any big game that he's had this year, yes, we get frustrated in between those games, but any big game, Minnesota, Eagles the second time, this last game altogether, that he's been wiped out all the way around. Yeah, we get frustrated in between those games, but if there was anybody that everybody's talking about it's the biggest matchup of the week or whatever, ESPN or whoever's talking about it a whole bunch, those big games, he's come in and he's been lights out. So I think,
yeah, I
at
think
this point,
you're talking about Micah, correct?
Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry?
You're alluding to Micah, right?
No, I was saying Kellen. Kellen offensively.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the caller. My bad. Continue.
No, my fault. No, I was saying Kellen, as far as his game plans and his play calling, all the way down to situational play calling, has been pretty much lights out in every big game that we've had this year. And then, of course, that's not necessarily a good thing, but since we're in the playoffs and we have nothing but big matchups moving forward, I think that gives us a little, assurance there that he's going to come in and do.
Would you consider? So you don't consider Jacksonville or Green Bay as a big game? Or you're saying like the results of the big game?
The results of the big game, because offensively, even in those games, like both of those have the narrative that we were better than them. We should go in and play them, or we should go in and win. But at the same time, even early on in both of those games, though, he was lights out.
Because this is why I say what I'm about to say, because you brought up situational play calling, and this is something I was thinking about after that game. He never was ever put in a situation to have to deal with the situational play calling. He wasn't.
Fair.
And that's the only thing left to really find out. And I think he'll get put in that position in this game and probably, any other game, because the competition will probably get tougher, right? We've seen that was one of the issues we've had with him, right? Like situationally, he has not been good. Jacksonville and Green Bay come to mind, but they ain't the only ones. But I'm wondering if it comes down to a certain drive or whatever at the end of the game, or to run out a clock or something like that. Do we revert back, or do we learn from our mistakes, right? Do we not throw the ball on 3rd and 10 deep? Do we not run 4 verts? Do we not avoid the middle of the field? Do we not, you know what I'm saying? Like, do we learn from our mistakes?
Well, and I think another part of that, and this only goes into the assumption that, hey, we're not showing our hand or whatever, because the more that I delve into this game and the more that I watch it, pretty much nothing that was there in the Washington game from Week 18 showed its head yesterday. Or not yesterday, but on Monday.
Monday, I got you.
And when I say that, what I mean is that when they came in to the game, like this against Washington, there was just very, and we covered it for a week. So y'all covered it for a week. Basically, it's saying that there was nothing except four verts or short curls. You might have a crosser here and there, but I mean it was nothing.
Oh,
and then
it was clearly vanilla.
To go from that to this side, I even took it one step further. And I went back and I watched games throughout the year, and the creative, the aggressiveness, the everything was completely different. Going into those games, going to the games like the Buccaneers, going against the Vikings, going against the Rams and the Bengals early on. Different because it was Cooper Rush versus Dak then, but just as much as creativity, not only in the pass game, but in the run game as well.
I don't think they were that creative. Me personally, just difference of opinion in the run game. Here's what they did. They didn't have any new plays. They literally did what we've been asking for them to do all year, right, DJ? Is, hey, I know you got a bag. Just stay in that. Just take it with you, and this is who you are, right? And the Jacksonville, for a perfect example, like for about 3 quarters, he was kind of in that realm, in that bag, and then situational football, you're backed up to your 10-yard line, you get a sack. Okay, what do? We come out and do the same damn thing again, and now interception. Situational football against the Texans, you get a sack, you come out the next play, you do the same damn thing, interception, right? Like but if he stays in this creative bag, right, in this situational bag, if we didn't really have that situation happen, then I think we'll be fine. It's just a matter of, can you get a stop and can you get a score when it matters? End of games, Green Bay, things like that.
And last thing, and I'll get off real quick. I think moving forward against the 49ers, and I know you'll get into it later in the week, but I don't know if I'll be able to call in over the rest of the week. So I think they're very disciplined, and they're very, very much so they're disciplined and they're very well coached. So
yes, they are.
If you can get these guys in conflict that go against their defensive rules and scheming, then I think that'll be the best thing to kind of do. And it'll come down to, like the last caller was saying, what that line can do to just give Dak enough time to figure out something, whether he needs to scramble out. It happened a lot on Monday where they might not have blocked the best in that particular play, but they held it just long enough that way Dak could get out of it. And if they can do that, then as long as Ford's playing at this level that he's been playing this season, especially on Monday, I trust him to kind of get the ball where it needs to go at that point.
Sure. Appreciate the call,
yes,
DJ.
Appreciate you. Yes, sir.
Yeah, man, that offensive line was really good. Really, really good in that game from a pass blocking standpoint. I know the only sack in the second possession of the game, just Vita Vea, man. He's Vita Vea. But you just saw Tyron Smith and Tyler and Jason Peters just kind of give you a pocket from a tackle standpoint. And obviously Zach is Zach. And then McGovern and Tyler just do enough. That's all we can ask. Just do enough, and you'll be fine, man. But different animal. Even Vita Vea versus Armstead, they're two different players, right? One's pure power. Armstead, I think, is a bit more, and listen, it's not a knock on Vita Vea, right? But he's versatile in the sense of he can do a little bit more from a scheme standpoint. And then Nick Bosa's Nick Bosa. I mean, we're going to, on Friday when we break this down, he's definitely a guy they're going to have to scheme for. I know we talk about this spread, but that's going to be something that's going to be, hey, if you're going to spread this thing out, can't hold that rock too long. All right, last call of the day. We got 806 in the building. What's good?
What's up, man?
How you doing?
I'm doing good. Good morning. I think we're going to go in the Lions Den and beat the 49ers, man. We got the momentum. Our time is now. I think if we use some trick plays maybe to keep them off balance. And what do you think about putting Zeke in the slot, or not just handing him the ball, but maybe throwing him the ball too to get him open Our defense is playing great. What do you think about Curse stopping the run? We have to stop McCaffrey the run, and we have to play our best, man. We have to play our best. I like Dak Prescott the way he played, and what do you think about that? And I don't think they should ride Diggs like that. He can't tackle. He can tackle, but we don't need him to blow up nobody. We just need him to slow it down, like, you know, and maybe get some interceptions in our special team. You think we should go for 2 if our kicker's not on him?
He got one. He on a short leash. He missed one kick. Yeah, we go for 2.
Yeah, we got to go. I think we left some points out there by not
4.
taking them off the field and going.
Damn,
yeah, I mean, we won though. We won. Thank you, Lord. You know, and I'm just excited. I think the Cowboys can beat the 49ers. I think the quarterback is overrated. If we can get some pressure and get Parsons some sacks, even Williams, you know, some sacks, and get to the quarterback, we can make some plays, man. We can win.
I agree. I agree with that for sure. I think if they get pressure on Brock Purdy, and not just pressure where he running around, now he can throw it, but pressure where they in his face and making him throw it, I think he'll give you some.
Yeah, I was thinking, you think they got any plays for Turpin? Maybe you could put him out there to kind of.
I mean, you know what?
Spice it up.
I was gonna say, I said no, but maybe they're saving it for the playoffs, right? Like maybe we'll see Turpin on Sunday. Who knows? But my guess would be no, because we didn't see him at all on Monday.
Yeah. What do you think about a big game from CeeDee Lamb? I mean, you know, 88 is known for playing against San Francisco and doing big things in our history. So, do you think he'll shine and get about 2 touchdowns? And you got
money on this game, man?
I'm a Dallas Cowboy fan.
Got some prop bets.
I've been riding with him.
I feel like you got your sheet out and you like, what you got? I ain't saying Sky said, so I ain't gonna take that off the bet. Think about Zeke getting some pet. No, but we're gonna break down that matchup. I'll say this as a teaser. I like CD in this game a whole lot.
Yeah, I think CD this is coming out party in the playoffs, because I mean he made that good catch and diving and he scored.
Yeah,
but that dude got some stuff in his bag too, man. That's a baller too. Dak Prescott on the run is dangerous. You move him around in the pocket, he can make plays. He can make plays, and he's over from when he had broke his ankle, and now he's running it, and he's running with no, you know, not thinking about that. So he's making plays with his legs and his arm.
Yeah.
And Schultz showed up, man. Get the ball to shorts, 86, and our tight ends, you know, and like you said, give Pollard the ball, because he can run on them. You know, he's not tiptoeing. He has the burst, and I like our chances. I like our chances.
I like
man.
our chances too. I love our chances, to be honest. Yeah.
I love our chances too. And everybody's sleeping on Dallas. You know, they got to come. They came with that 9 and 24. I know you see the numbers on the 4-letter channel, but
what they saying?
They saying, you know, we 9 and 24 on rest on the day with, you know, 5 days and 7 days. I don't think the rest thing. I think we got.
This is the playoffs. Nobody care about all that. Look, it's good. It's good to talk discussion, and it may be a situation from Monday to Sunday. But when that ball gets kicked off, all that's thrown out the window.
All that's thrown out the window.
Appreciate the call, though, man. Yeah, good call, brother.
Yeah, blessed. We're gonna win Sunday, man. We're gonna win.
I feel it. Appreciate you.
All right. You're welcome. Thank you.
Forget what he's going. Oh, I was gonna say. Oh, yeah, he was talking about Dak. This is we said this before. This is the best. This is the best Dak Prescott. Like I truly believe that, even with the interceptions, and that's why I thought it was dumbfounding when you go on Twitter and you see people retweeting that dude from and then, you notice I call him that dude when he say some dumb stuff like this, but he also does good stuff. But didn't he say dumb stuff? This is the worst year in Dak Prescott's career. What, bruh? There's not a chance you're watching. You're watching. You can't be. I think what you're doing is you're taking an interception or a bad play, you magnify it, and you say this is him. It's the best Dak Prescott we've seen. I said that even with the damn Washington game. I said that before this Tampa Bay game. What you saw was Dak Prescott just be clean. That's all, which he is used to being. This 7-game stretch seemed to completely erase 7 years of evidence. So, there's that. What you talking about, Tom? You said I'm one of y'all. 717, yes, sir. It hurts coming from him. What you talking about? Let me get to some of these super chats. Get up out of here. It's probably going to be long shows all week, man. We in the playoffs, man. We in the playoffs. Potentially last game of the year type stuff. Can't hold anything back, right? All right, here we go. Oh, Shady. It does. I hate to get on him because I know him, but he's terrible at his job. He's literally the worst on TV. Not telling that. I don't care. Where we at? The 18th. I'll be a couple up here.
Super chat.
All is well. Appreciate you. It says Adrian Peterson could do better than Zeke right now. That's deep.
Super chat.
Sam said, I invented McGritty. I'm asserting my copyright. Go ahead.
Super chat.
Elmatic. Sky, our defense is locked in. We're ready. It does feel like they locked in. I tweeted. I'll read my tweet to you about the defense, and maybe I'll run this back tomorrow. But I said, this defense was moving like one last night. Incredible discipline and focus. You can tell they had a great week of practice. And I said this without listening to any interviews. I said DQ talked about making things difficult for Tom post-snap, and you can see the effort put into the game plan. But that takes discipline, and they were. And I found out that coach actually brought up that Dak was making sure they had a great practice. I guess on Friday, he came on and said, well, ain't no nerves, man. There is no nerves going into this game because we had a great week of practice. And I said they're going to need to have a great week of practice. They didn't have one going into the Washington game, but they're going to need to have a great week of practice again going into the Niners game because it's going to be more challenging. But, yeah, this defense is – I think they locked in. Then they locked in. You've beat the boogeyman per se, and now I think you got the quarterback advantage from here on out. And there's one more. Lamont, appreciate you, Lamont.
Super chat.
Lamont says, just wanted to say, all y'all are worried about C-Mac, Debo, and Kittle. We have weapons that can replicate what they do. We will dominate 37-15. Yeah, we sure. We got weapons for sure. And I know Schultz isn't Kittle, but for our offense, he is our Kittle. Like, and Schultz clearly can get busy as a tight end because he's one of Dak's favorite weapons. Now, we might not have an Ayuk, but Lamb, Debo, yep. And running backs, I don't care what nobody say. I told y'all how I feel about Tony Pollard. He is CMC to me. CMC, Alvin Kamara, Eckler, he is in that lane. So we got that. Elijah Mitchell and Zeke Elliott. I'll let y'all debate on that one. But yeah, we definitely have an offense. We have individual guys that can get busy. The scheme is one thing, right? We know what they're going to bring. We just hope we bring our bag of our schematic bag to the game. That's the difference. And their offensive line is a little bit better. Two more. RF, appreciate you.
Super chat.
Says, greetings from England. Man, all the way from England. Says, thanks for the content while at work. Love the show. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate that. Met a guy from Canada that watched the show a couple weeks ago. I don't like to call, I said it's Cowboys Nation because that's the thing, but it's really, we global. Let's keep it a bean. We are global. Billy Renfro.
Super chat.
He says, I think as long as we have the lead or keep it close, that our defense will force Purdy into some mistakes. He's not faced a defense like this. And that's what I was trying to go back and look at, and we'll dive in that tomorrow. But you're right. You're right. And hell, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. When was his first game? Against Tampa? Shit, they only put up 21 against Seattle before they put up 41 against Seattle. But we're going to break it all down tomorrow. We'll talk about San Fran's offense against the Cowboys defense, how they'll probably elect to attack us. It's not a secret. They are open book in what they do. They just do it really well because they got one of the best minds to do it. But this is the game, man. This is the game where we talked about the attitude era, drafting the Micah Parsons and the Tyler Smiths of the world, the Sam Williams of the world. It's for this. They talked about this specific game at the draft. Then you go out and get a Hankins to add more attitude and more physicality up front. I think Dallas is going to be ready. I think they have more confidence than they've ever had in the last 20 years going into this game. And it happens to be a game that nobody's picking them. House money. I love where the Cowboys are at right now. I love it. But we'll break it all down starting tomorrow, man. Make sure y'all hit the like button if you enjoyed this show today. And if we can bring a smile on your face, if we can, learn something, right? I learn something. Feels like every time I do one of these shows talking to y'all. And if you enjoy it, hit the subscribe button. Share this thing with your friends and family. Today, back on the volume. And then later tonight, Mauricio will be back on for A to Z Sports Prime Time. So make sure y'all lock in for that. This is how we win, Scott, the underdog. I love being the underdog. I feel like Dallas is so much better. We say that all the time. It may mean nothing, but it just feels that way, right? Like when the Cowboys are 14-2 or 13-3, home field advantage and whatnot, it feels like the pressure is too much. Now, does it ultimately matter? Probably not. But the pressure feels like it's too much. Now, you're the underdog going into this game. I don't think there's no pressure. I love where we at. All right, Cowboys Nation, let me hit this button and get the heck up out of here. Another overtime in the books. Why not us? Best I can do is Cooper Rush. Ooh, I would wonder how y'all feel if he was. We ain't got to do that. He played his role. Is Zeke the Cooper Rush? Nah, I'm just playing. Y'all don't kill me. I'm just playing. Love y'all. Peace.